Reloading my YouTube page on the other TV. There it goes. And we'll see if we get audio. My YouTube page on the other. And we do. Excellent. Everything working as I have foreseen. Or planned it, rather. Alright. Agua. And then we will get going here. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free video conferencing financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Probably do that over Google Meet usually. That's calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That link is also in the description. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel. That is CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. I think I'm doing that the right way. And channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And that's why I usually keep that screen up, because I get rid of that graphic. There we go. All right. Upcoming streams would be the Ramsey Show after show. As you can see, I do that sometimes whenever I have a weekday off, and can do that immediately following the Ramsey Show video on YouTube. And so the next one will be on Thursday, August 31st. And then the next one after that will be September 4th, Labor Day, also a weekday. Pretty much any banking holiday will happen, and various other days of the week whenever I get a weekday off. All right, what else can I tell you? A bunch of different stuff on my YouTube channel. You can go to music and you can see my Ramsey adjacent songs. The latest one was Lifestyle Creep. Lifestyle Creep. Instead be a widow. Why the heck are you in debt? The baby stepping song to Dua Lipa's Levitating. Let's see, how can I go? How does that? What are some lyrics? So many lyrics to that. So much fast singing. Let me do this part. What is it? Oh, naming every dollar that's intention. What up, Maddie Bags? Hashtag mention. Do the steps let go of apprehension. Yeah. Okay. And so the Jay Warsaw song. It's hard to say. Debt fought Warsaw and Warsaw won. Debt fought Warsaw and Warsaw won. Rachel Cruz song, and I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, for good advice that she learned in her youth. And the John Deloney song, and there's a video also of me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. And that's John Deloney to my Sharona. And of course the original Baby Step song to Love Yourself, written by Ed Sheeran, performed by Justin Bieber. And that's if you want to have financial peace, then you should do the baby steps. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba. Alright, so shouldn't get flagged for that on this video, because those probably didn't sound that much like the original song, so should be okay with that without music. Let's see. What else can I do? Oh, so normally I do this, or I try to do this on Saturday nights, but what what is the show? Ramsey Coach. It was preempted by, because I was watching Washington Commanders football. And they finished the preseason undefeated. Which that doesn't mean anything if you lose all the regular season games. But they were looking decent. So we will see once the regular season begins. Let's see. Did I tell you everything else I needed to tell you? I think so. Let's see. Before we get into the baby steps and the questions, let's take a quick look at the market. Of course, it's not scrolled back up. Market pretty good on Friday. NASDAQ almost an entire % up. Futures up as well. I did see this story that I thought was interesting. Bull market coming. One magnificent growth stock to buy. Hand over fist before it soars. 1,800% according to Wall Street. The beaten down advertising market and macroeconomic headwinds have punished Roku stock, which remains 84% off its high. Yet even amid these daunting challenges, the streaming pioneer continues to eke out growth, a dominant market position, gale force secular tailwinds, and this is all blah blah blah. And a recovery in the ad market should recharge Roku's results. So don't know about all that. And of course, Dave Ramsey does not recommend single stocks, but it's highly likely that you would have Roku in one of your mutual funds. Maybe I don't know if that would be in the NASDAQ or I don't know which segment of the market that would belong in. Do not know. All right, but I just thought that was interesting. All right, let's close that. And we don't need that anymore. All right. Okay, so this whole Ramsey thing is based on, I guess the general principle is you don't spend more than you earn. And you don't take out debt. He won't yell at you if you get a mortgage, but any other kind of debt, don't do it. But there are these 7 baby steps, and that's an exact plan because when he first started teaching this stuff, he didn't have the baby steps, and so people would always ask him, well, what do I do first out of all the stuff that you said to do? And so he developed the baby steps, and it is step 1: save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. A lot of controversy about that. People always ask, well, $1,000 isn't enough to do anything. And a lot of those people are people that don't even have $1,000 to their name right now. So that kind of defeats their own argument. But a lot of people will say, well, that's not enough to feel comfortable. That's the idea. You're not supposed to feel comfortable. Dave recently said a couple months ago that it wasn't enough 30 years ago either. It's just something to help you stave off putting stuff on a card, continuing to get in debt for some little emergency. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball. That would be smallest to largest amount. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. And nobody knows what that would be for you because we don't know what number of months you're picking. If you have no job or life drama, 3 months of expenses is fine. If you think, if you would sleep better at night, 4 months is fine. 6 months is fine as well. Dave doesn't want you to have more than 6 months in your emergency fund because at that point it's keeping you from progressing on the rest of the steps. Steps 1, 2, and 3 you do in order separately, so one at a time. Steps 1, 2, and 3. Steps 4, 5, and 6 you do all together in order. So, and that's step 4, invest 15% of your household income into retirement, the gross household income. And so, yep, that means no investing. If you're already doing it, when you start the baby steps, you stop investing temporarily. It's just a hashtag season while you're stopping, and then you can resume it once you are back on step 4. What else do we have? Step 5, save for kid college if you have a child or children. And if you want to help them, if both things are true, then you can help them out with that. You can figure out how much you want to have by the time they're 18 and divide that by the number of months before they are 18, and that's how much you have to save. Of course, you can figure that in with investing and so forth if you are using an account for that does investing with the market. Step 6, pay off your home early. And yes, you're supposed to do that before you invest more than 15%. If you do not do that, that is part of debt leverage. And that is something Dave does not want you to do. That's basically borrowing money to invest it. So, and that's the no-no for Dave. Let's see, in step 7, build wealth and give, and that lasts forever. That's a mighty long time, but I'm here to tell you. That's Prince from, what song is that? Let's Go Crazy. All right, so I'll refer back to these if any of the questions pertain directly to them. I'll refer back to them and show you how that works. I also noticed this when I was pulling this up. They have the find out which step you're on, and basically it's whatever you don't have done, you're on the step before it. So, or you're on that particular step. Like if you don't have an emergency fund right now, but you don't have any debt other than a house, then you're on step 3. You can have your house paid off. That can already have happened, but you have other debt, you're on step 2 then. So a lot of people don't like that because that means they're in a lower step, but that's just where you are. That's just the steps. All right, so it's a Facebook edition today. I do have Reddit ready to go if we run out and I'm not done. And of course, I didn't scroll back up to the top. Of course not. All right, here we go. Very excited. Oh, this one I actually answered on the Facebook, and so I just copied my answer to here, and I will read both to you. The question, how do you deal with family members who don't understand, this also can happen with friends as well, or respect your financial decisions, savings goals? I'm saving up for a wedding, house, and honeymoon, and I have little room in my budget month to month for extra non-essential fun activities, as opposed to essential fun activities. I was told that I would get cake this time. That's from Office Space. I was told that I'm not living life to the fullest. That's right, and you're too extreme, and I need to spend money to have more fun. I've stood up for myself countless times, but we just keep going in circles on the conversation. They just don't get it. All right, so my answer on this was family members don't get a vote. They will likely never understand. Just say the same short sentence, something like, I'm doing what I think is best every time, and then drop it. There's no need to continue the conversation. Hopefully they will see that what you are doing is working and will eventually come around, but don't hold your breath on that. They are just being normal, and we, by being intentional with money and not just having fun every 2 seconds when we want to have fun and spending money to do it, that is not normal. So we are not being normal, and you just have to accept that. And so maybe get new family members or new friends if they don't that more are more in line with your financial preferences. And so a good example would be where you can engage with people like that would be in this Facebook group. This is from the Ramsey Solutions run Facebook group, the Ramsey Baby Steps community. And make sure it is that one if you want to join that, because there are plenty other ones and they have similar names on Facebook, but they are not run by Ramsey Solutions. There we go. We're all good. Okay. Advice, please. This is a very upsetting topic for me, but my family has an issue and we do not know what to do. My aunt, who I am not close to, but have been with at every holiday, and I still very much care for her and do not want to see her suffering. She's in a nursing home and now has to go on Medicaid. She owns her home and refuses to sell it. She cannot be reasoned with on this. She refuses to accept that she has to stay there at the nursing home, I'm assuming. She does not have any children. We do not have the money to maintain the house and pay the taxes. So the nursing home and our attorney has said we have two options. We can let the house go, as in will be taken for unpaid taxes. I mean, that's fine if that's what she wants to have happen. I mean, if she is in her right mind, but just being stubborn, that's fine, and you can just tell her that. If she's not in her right mind, then that's a different thing, and then you know, you can have like power of attorney and such, and then you can do whatever you think is best. Let's say, or we can rent it to someone for only the amount of the taxes, insurance, and sewer. She cannot make a profit. Okay, I guess if she makes a profit, it'll mess with her Medicaid. I see. So let's see. Husband and I, baby step 2, and our rent is $18.25 a month. Living there would cost about $600 a month, all in. Would you do it? Would you let it go? Would you move in there? I would probably seek out another attorney just to see if there's another possibility, or maybe somebody else, some other elder statesman or a counselor, or maybe like a pastor at a church, perhaps, to see if they can think of any other solution on that. But again, if she's in her right mind, you can't, just stubborn, you can tell her the two. You don't have to, treat her with kid gloves. If she wants to be stubborn, she can be stubborn, and you just tell her, well, this is what's going to happen. It's either going to be taken for unpaid taxes because we're not paying them, or we can live there. And so I wouldn't try to do that around her, try to get around her and do it without telling her. That would be unethical. So it sounds like it would work with, it would work with your baby steps plan. It would give you $12.25 extra a month to apply to baby step 2. So it sounds like that would work out for you and allow her to still own the house even though she cannot live there. So, but then you also have to have a plan. Like maybe something happens where she doesn't have to be at the nursing home anymore and can go home. I know that doesn't normally happen like that, but you just have to be prepared to be able to have a backup plan if you can't live there anymore. And so that's what I would do on that. The new wife and I are having a discussion over the reusability of dryer sheets. How many of you reuse a dryer sheet? How many loads do you get out of one sheet approximately? All right, so I am pretty frugal. I've been accused of being a depression baby before. I don't like to waste things and such. It's funny because my ex-girlfriend would put like 5 or 6 sheets in because she likes it. She likes her clothes and other laundry to smell like, you know, I like the dryer sheet scent. She likes that. So, but like I use one per. I don't. I mean, okay. Check this out. Here's what I do. I put the one sheet in, and then when it's done, I use that sheet to clean out the filter. Take the filter out, use that one sheet to push it all in the thing because that is great. Those are great things, great for dusting and so forth. And so I do have a few like that have been used, and so I have them like when I want to dust something or something like that. But those are great to clean out the vent. So I use one in each load, and then I reuse that sheet to clean the filter. So using it more than once, I mean, I assume it would be fine to just like as far as the static, keeping static away more than once, but I'm fine with using one per. They don't cost that much, but I'm sure I do something like that with something that's equally as cheap per item. I'm sure I do something like that. Oh, I know what I do. I buy 2-liter soft drinks, not the brand name. I ain't paying no $3 for no Coke. So I get the Kroger brand. They are $1.25 each. And a lot of times they are on sale for $1 each. So I'm not paying no $2.50 sometimes on sale or the regular $2.99 retail price for a name brand Coke. So, and actually I think their Coke Zero Sugar, Kroger's Coke Zero Sugar is tastes better than tastes sweeter even than the Coke Zero Sugar. But so yeah, I do that, and I pour that into a 20-ounce bottle to take to work, rather than buying the 6-pack of the 20-ounce bottle. So that could be somewhere like in that realm, but that's probably more savings per item though. But there could be something else that I do. I don't think I was ever called a hoarder, but maybe close. So for stuff, I do need to throw away stuff or like try to sell it if it's worth anything. I have a lot of memorabilia and stuff like that. But as again, like the dryer sheets, I mean, you can pick your own thing. I mean, new wife. I mean, I would let her have that one on something that, you know, I would take a stand on something that is more cost per item than that one. I'm sure there will be more things that you can take a stand on than that. So I would let the dryer sheets go there. All right, this is a sign that was posted in the Facebook community. The Ramsey Baby Steps community is the name of that. And it's cash preferred, card accepted. Cash will work when the internet's down, when there's a power outage, when the card reader malfunctions, when your phone battery dies. Cash is king, use it or lose it. Keep cash alive. Please pay in cash if you can. Why? To avoid bank fees. To keep cash alive, support local businesses rather than banks. Cash is king, use it or lose it. KeepCashAlive.com. Alrighty, so I saw that, and that also, all that's true. And it also, one moment. It reminded me of something that I'm sure a lot of people have said this, but actually Andrew Tate, believe it or not, regardless of what you think about him, I saw a video where he was saying, okay, if you have $100 bill and you buy something with it. Okay, you like you pay your gardener with it. Give him the $100, and you pay the gardener with it. And then he goes to the store with that to buy something. It's still worth $100. And then he goes to the store. They put it in their account. The store deposits it, and then they can pay their employees with it out of their account. That's still worth $100. If you use a credit card, the bank gets some of that money. Every single transaction, the bank gets a little bit of that money. So like after 10 or 20 usage, that $100 is down to nothing. So, and the banks have that $100 as profit. So just something to think about. And that's, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually cash does go away. I think they're already working on some kind of government virtual currency. Which the thing now that they have, it's basically it's an immediate transaction, which not all banks are participating in, but some are. I think it's called Fed Now, and it makes for faster transactions. Which, unfortunately, that's also going to make for faster fraud, unfortunately. And so, we'll have to see how that goes in those tests. Phone bill is down from $185.05 in May to $61.57 for September. I may look around for a different carrier, but I want to stay away from T-Mobile and Verizon, who's left due to signal issues. Who is trying to think of what other company? Because T-Mobile and Sprint are the same thing now. AT&T. And last time I had Verizon, they got more expensive every month. I have one phone and a watch. Yeah, I am changing to Mint Mobile, and I believe their cheapest plan is like $15 right now for unlimited everything, and even let's see what it is. Come on, if I can type. There we go. All right, so shop plans, there we are. So as you can see, everything's on sale right now. This is a limited thing for 3 months for $45. You can get any of the stuff. You can get unlimited data. It still does, after a certain amount, it still does slow down, but it's all free. Well, actually, the unlimited plan actually maybe all fast data. But these other ones, you can still get data after the 5 gigabyte runs out. It's just slower. These 5, 15, and 20. And so as you can see, the $25 a month for 20 gigabytes, $20 a month for 15 gigabytes, and $15 a month for 5 gigabytes of data. And so this is all that. It's $15 a month for this. This is the regular price for this. So only the other 3 are on sale. So, but I got this one, and so if I stay with this 15 gigabytes, because I'm not able to be where Wi-Fi is at all times. If I stay with that one, then that'll start costing me $20 a month. And that's cheaper than, of course, she has the 2 devices, so that might make it have to be $40 for her, but that's still cheaper than $61. So that could be a possibility. So yeah, phone is something that costs people a lot of money. and that's a good thing to drop down. Helps out in your budget a lot if you can drop down in that. And a lot of it especially is buying $1,000 Apple phone and paying for it over time in your bill, and that is how they get you. And so don't do that. Buy a phone outright. If you cannot buy a phone outright for $1,000, then you cannot afford that. If you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. I finally made baby step 7. Excellent, which is wonderful, yes. But I feel like it took an eternity to get here. I'm 62 and the journey was 7 very long years. Okay, well, just wondered how long it took anyone else. I kick myself for not doing this earlier in life. Right, and that's the problem. That you waited so long. You waited until you were 55 to start. And fortunately, I started sooner than that. But 7 years, like including the house payoff, that's not bad at all. And I think that's about normal for paying off a house as well. So yeah, that's going to be about normal. The problem again isn't that, it's that you waited too late. I mean, it's not too late. Obviously, you're baby step 7 now, which is going to make, without any debts and a paid off house, that's going to make retirement much easier, unless you're already retired. And then that still makes retirement now easier, that you don't have any other debts and you have a paid off house you can live in. So, assuming, didn't say, I mentioned a house, but I'm just assuming there would be a house involved in this. So again, you're better off, but yeah, you're not going to get that time back, unfortunately. And so being old, I understand. I'm not that much younger than 62. And so I get it that that's what makes it seem like it took a long time. It's more the wear and tear on you than the actual number of years. Let's see, should we sell a car? Yeah, not always. But a lot of times that's a good idea. What up, Mars? Let's see, it was posted on Facebook, Ramsey, baby step community, that George and Whitney had their baby girl on Friday. Yes, I did see that. Did see that when I was pulling these questions, Mars. Thank you for dropping by. Let's see. Congratulations to George and Whitney, obviously. I should put my camel song. I only have like half a verse and a chorus of camel song. What is it? Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wears ASOS and Deloney wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Yeah, it's like the Discovery Channel song. Oh, let's see. So I need to put that in my music playlist. I need to clip that from one of the times that I sang it live, because I never did a separate video of that. Okay, should we sell a car? My wife and I are on baby step 3. About 2 months shy of a fully funded emergency fund. All right. We have 3 vehicles: the family van, my side business vehicle, our extra car. We think about selling the extra car. Is worth around $6,000. Kelly Blue Book with insurance. We pay $73 a month, $876 a year. I currently use it to drive to my job now, only 2 miles away from home. It is super convenient. Left out some letters there, my friend. To have, with the best mileage in case a car is in the shop or family member needs to borrow it, or either the wife or I go somewhere without the kids. So, I mean, it is convenient. It is super convenient. You could save $876 a year in expenses, and You could pocket $6,000 though. That would finish your. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead. I currently. Oh, I did that one. I don't think the monthly insurance payment is that bad. No, it's not. But it's $876 a year that could go elsewhere. But the $6,000 would get us to baby step 4 or 6 and a few extra payments on the house. What do y'all think? Should we keep it or sell? I would probably lean towards selling it because, like, how often, if you did not have that, see, you could use your side business vehicle to drive the 2 miles away. That's not going to cost that much in gas or add much to the wear and tear on it. So that's not going to hurt your side business vehicle. So if you drove that to work back and forth, then maybe you don't have one for a family member to borrow. And if the car is in the shop, then you don't have one to use. So, but how often is the car in the shop, or a family member needs to borrow it, or you and the wife, either of you, go somewhere without the kids? How often does that happen? Also, kids are allowed to travel in a car. So unless you have a Brady Bunch making the van necessary, then you don't need an SUV or whatever because you have children. So a lot of people think it's a law you have to get one. So didn't say how many kids. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm selling it. On baby step 3, yeah, I'm selling it. I mean, just for it to be super convenient. I mean, it would be different if it was just the $876 a year, and if you could only sell it for like a couple thousand. But this is $6,000, so I would sell it since it's basically a luxury, and so. I mean, once you get that fully funded emergency fund, you said you're about 2 months shy of that. So you're close enough to having that so that it's fine if you want to keep it for the convenience. But I really would consider how often it does get used. So I'm sure it's super convenient. But if it's just going to be used as your go-to-work vehicle or just sitting around otherwise, mostly, then it's a waste of that $6,000 that you could have in your pocket right now. And on top of that, continuing expenses of $876 a year, plus any other things you have to do on a car, oil changes, etc., etc. But either way on that's fine. That's just my thoughts on that. $8,000 left on our house until we are in baby step 7. Excellent. Anything we need to know or advice on how to handle your money after you have no debt? Well, you want to handle it basically the same. You would have no steps to do other than 4, you continue investing. You do that forever. So you're investing and you're still budgeting, but as far as the steps, you're doing is 4, and then baby step 7 is you build wealth and give. And so how that looks like is you do 3 things with money. You spend some, you save some, and investing would count for that, and you give some away. You be charitable with it. And so that's how you handle it. But basically, you still want to have a budget. You need to do a budget no matter what baby step you're in. You need to do a budget forever. That makes you intentional with your money. You're naming every dollar ahead of time and not just spending willy-nilly like a normal person does. just, drives by somewhere and sees this, says, oh, I'm going to buy that. I mean, something, $20 pair of headphones. These cost much more than that, though. My daughter bought them for me. I believe it was a Christmas gift, I think, or birthday gift. Can't remember. Thanks, Bella. And they cost much more than $20. But, I mean, you can do that. Like, I mean, that could be out of fund money or whatever else. Or, I mean, if you're on baby step 7, you can, you can spend $100 whenever you want, basically. But the idea is to still be intentional with all but a small portion of your money, which can be called fund money, and which you can do, which you can spend $20 every time you leave the house if you want. You just got to put that in your budget. So yeah, you just want to be intentional. Nothing really changes except you're not paying off money on your house anymore. You're already not paying off any other debts because you're on baby step 6. So the only thing you're paying off is the house. And so then you have no debts. And so all the extra you're putting on the house now you can put some to that spend category, some to that save category, and some to that give category. Wife and I are completely debt-free. I want to do the debt-free screen. My wife doesn't want to. She wants to keep things quiet. All right, so I understand you want to celebrate it, sure, and in most cases, I would probably think that all that's fine. But I get why she doesn't want to. I mean, it's possible that she doesn't want to be seen as not normal. That could be in a few small percentage of the cases of people not wanting to do that. Most of it is probably wants to keep it quiet so that people don't ask her for money, especially her family and friends. And she knows her family and friends, and she may know about them, that if that gets around that you guys don't have any debt, then all of a sudden family and friends will come out of the woodwork and start asking for money. And so maybe she doesn't want that to happen. So that is possible. I would ask her about it if you are concerned about it. I would ask her why. Communication. I would ask her instead of the Facebook community. All right, let's see. Just received a raise at work and sat down for the first time in years to budget. I just couldn't understand why we're cutting it so close. That's why you want to be intentional with your money. That's why you never stop budgeting, even if you're on step 7. Over a third of my paycheck is completely blown, and half of that is wasted on food. I was completely in shock, and it was definitely a reality check. Here's just starting a new journey. Yeah, if you just go to the grocery store, and if you don't ever run out of money, if you're making enough to cover up what you're spending, then a lot of people never realize. So it's only when you look at it is when you realize, oh, I'm spending way more at the grocery store than I need to. So over a third of the paycheck is completely blown. Half of that's wasted on food. So half of the blown money, that doesn't need to be spent at all. Half of that is just food. And so the other half of that third is just like other stuff that's just not being intentional with the money by not spending it and not knowing where it's going, probably. So you got to check you look back in your bank account, online banking, and see what you spent that money on. What up, John Hall? It was 5 minutes ago. Sorry I didn't see you faster. Excuse me. To recap, Normally we do Reddit questions, but I'm doing a special Facebook. The Ramsey Solutions Run Facebook group, which is the Ramsey Baby Steps community. And if you don't go with those exact words, it could be just another Ramsey group just run by fans and not Ramsey Solutions. So got to be careful if you want that. Boom. Wife paid off her student loans today. Our car loans are next. Excellent. Hello everyone. I need some advice. I'm currently in baby step 2 where I have $1,000 in savings. Okay, but I was wondering if student loans are restarting on October 4th. They probably are. I don't think she phrased that incorrectly, or he. I only have $954 left on it, and I can rebuild the emergency fund in less than 2 months. But I'm not sure if I should take out the money I have in savings and pay it off before October. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. Your emergency fund does not go anywhere. Your student loan, the student loans restarting on October 4th is not an emergency. And an emergency is rarely has a start date in the future. That's rarely an emergency, because if you know it's coming, it's not really an emergency, so you can plan for it. But no, you never touch that $1,000 except for emergencies, and that's not an emergency. So just pay them off. Pay them off as quick as you can. Perhaps should have already done that. $954. That should be your lowest debt, so that should be the one that you're working on right now. People always like to scheme and scam and try to like trick the baby steps or get stuff done faster, and that's not getting you done faster. That could put you in a world of hurt if you use that money. And you said you could. Where is it? I can rebuild the emergency fund in less than 2 months. Then that means you can pay this off in less than 2 months. So, yeah, people always want to like hurry up and do it, you know, rather than just do the steps slowly but surely. I have a question. My 51-year-old sister recently passed to COVID in June. She left her paid PAID. Give her a break on that. Her paid for home to my $3, $24, $22, and $18. That's nice that she did that, but then that creates a deal where what if one daughter wants to do one thing with it? What if another daughter wants to live in it? And what if another daughter wants to? What if two people want to live in it? And one wants to sell it, then what do? As the older two are married and one is living in a different state and the older one thinking about moving away, should we sell the home and invest to proceed in the mutual funds? If she left it to them, they are the ones that decide it. I know you're trying to be the mom manager, but they are the ones that get to decide that. I mean, you can advise them, obviously. Let's see, sell the home and invest the proceeds in the mutual one. Should we keep it as a rental, though it is owned by my daughters? Then they would have to deal with it unless you're going to deal with it. And if you're going to deal with it, they need to make you partial owner. But Dave doesn't want you to do that. He doesn't want you to own things with family or friends. You own a house or anything else with a spouse only. And it's just to avoid these type of problems. I do not know what advise is the verb, advice is the noun. To give them. If we sell it within 6 months, there are no capital gains for Idaho, okay? Selling it later will cost 15%. Yeah, it is $350,000 home, 4-bed, 2-bath, recently remodeled. I would ask them what they want to do, because they are the ones that it's in their name. They are the ones that get to decide, not you. And so, I mean, maybe you can't tell from this. Maybe you're just trying to help out and give them some advice on it, or you're just trying to overly be involved in it. I don't know which one it is. So it seems like the best thing to do would be to sell it and divide up the money between them. And you don't need to get involved and invest the proceeds in the mutual funds. You can suggest that to them, but let them do that individually and not have a brokerage account that is owned by all three of them. Don't do that. Split the money up, and so each daughter can do what they want to with that money. But that is probably the thing to do with it. But all it takes is one of these wanting to move into it, and then there's a whole bunch of problems. This is why you should not do this. And this is why you should tell people your intentions ahead of time, so that you can realize that it will be a problem, which maybe you guys don't think it's a problem, but it almost always is. But yeah, so this is why you don't do that stuff, because, I mean, if they're all on the same page, fine, then there's not a problem. But how often does that happen? People are often on their different pages. Righty. Rereading Total Money Makeover. That's The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And that book definitely changed my life. Yeah, give it a read. Read this, just an average income of $50,000 with no debt, no 401k match, just investing 15% of income, which is $625 per month. You'll be a multi-millionaire starting at age 30 by age 70. This gives me chills. All right. And so just to show you that, I went ahead and plugged the numbers in here. I didn't press calculate though, so I'll let you see it. 30 to 70, right? Isn't that what I said? That's the Reddit, ready to go if we run out of questions by the time I want to stop talking. Yeah, 30 to 70. Zero, starting with zero. $625 a month. 10%, S&P 500. Average, 10 to 12%. So we'll go with 10. $3 million, almost $4 million. So, or, you could have a car payment that's $625 a month for your entire life instead. And this is where Dave says, I hope you like the cars. $4 million. All right, so do this stuff, folks. Worth it. Worth it. Baby steps right there. You go to RamseySolutions.com, you click on products, and right there the baby steps. And if you want to get started, you do start at PU. You can take their class, or you can just watch millions of hours of their show on the YouTubes. I didn't spend any money with them. I did not give them 1 cent. I got the book from the library. I did not spend 1 cent until I paid for the Financial Coach Master Training, is what it's called, FCMT. And an interesting story about that, I've told it before, that I had been thinking about it for a while, and we already got the Pandy stimulus from Trump, the Trump books, as fondly referred to. But then, not to be outdone, Biden got the Biden books as well, and so I had that. That came in the same time that it was on sale, the Financial Coach Master training, they had like a half price sale on it. And so the Biden bucks covered the whole thing. And so I thought, if I don't do it now, I'm not ever going to do it. And so did it. No regrets. So, I am convinced that buying a house is an unnecessary expense. My husband is of the opposite thought. Anyway, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Appreciate it. My husband is of the opposite thought about buying a house. I see it as added debt in that the mortgage payment is only one small part principal and tons of interest to a bank. Yes, it is. And then there are the yearly taxes. Yes, there are. Plus, I add in the repair and maintenance costs. Nice try on maintenance. Close, but no dice. Of home care, painting, electrical and plumbing repairs, window and roof repairs, and appliance replacement. Yeah, as well as the upkeep, expensive for lawn and driveway care, tree trimming, etc. When I add this all up, it seems illogical, Captain. Logical, Captain. Wherein we are currently leasing at an all-inclusive community for one monthly payment. I have no annual taxes on my housing. I know they're baked into the lease payment. I have no repair or maintenance. The lawn company comes twice a week and mows, trims, weeds my flower beds, and blows off the patio and front entry. I have no maintenance. If anything on the townhome needs attention, I put in a work order. Maintenance was here last week to tighten up a toilet paper holder in one of our bathrooms. If an appliance goes, they replace it. Yep. I mean, I have newfound money that can go to debt. What are some of your thoughts? Well, it's not newfound money. It's just money you're not spending because you don't have those expenses. So it's not newfound money. It may feel like it since you have just thought about it, but it's not actually newfound money. The thing with that is you have to continue paying that. When you retire, you don't have a free house to live in that you own. And your rent is not giving you equity in anything. And so Dave does recommend a house, but if you want to be a renter forever, then that's up to you. Your husband thinks differently, so you guys gotta figure out something. Some kind of compromise, although I don't know that there's a compromise in renting or buying a house, mortgage. I don't know that there's a thing with that, but I would consider what a mortgage payment for the same type of house. You can't cheat and look at a mortgage payment for a bigger house than you have now. You got to look at a mortgage payment for the townhouse that you have now and see what that mortgage payment is and see, the stuff is built in. And so don't be confused because it's just an altogether payment that you're not paying for that stuff, because of course you are. And so it may not actually be cheaper that way. So you just have to take a look at the numbers on that, and that way you can then you can have more ammo in your argument bank about it. So, but it's not necessarily. I mean, they are definitely charging for it. They are not losing money on replacing the appliances and such like that. They have all of that built in to the rent. Trust me, they're not taking the loss on anything. Companies don't take the loss on stuff. So I had to give up my precious. Okay, Gollum. Precious. Oh, might have do Yoda there. That's not how Gollum sounds. That's Yoda. Honda Odyssey Elite. Bertha. But with that came giving up a $777 car payment and $52K of debt. Now introducing my Dave Car Betty Ready to Crush Baby Step 2. And so, thinking about that 777, if we just go back here where we saw this, if 625 is invested for 40 years, it's almost $4 million. So, Honda Odyssey Elite, definitely not worth it. So, and she put a picture of the two vehicles. I don't care. I didn't care enough about vehicles to send them. And actually, as far as the way it looked, I like the cheaper one better. Me to wife, can you please give me a list of bills to pay off before I buy a camper on Marketplace? Stay strong, guys. Avoid Marketplace. Yeah, anywhere, anywhere. Why do it? Anywhere that has stuff that you won't buy. Like, for example, there is, what is it? Slick Deals. Whoops, come on. Slickdeals.net. I like to go. I recommend if you are in the market for any item, you can do that and put that in there and search for it. But like, just to go on here and start, I mean, I love video games. So that's right there. Office Life 2021, older one, lifetime license. But I mean, I'm sure you could find any number of things to buy in here. Let's see, what would I be interested in here other than that video game? Boom, boom, boom. I could probably use a new jacket. Another video game. So, but the idea is to not just look for stuff to buy because you're bored. If you need one, I do have, not this brand, not Sparkle as the manufacturer. Mine is Asus, I think. An Intel Arc A750 8GB video card, and that is, I do have this exact one. And 220, I think they normally go for 250, 260, and so that is the one I have. But the one that I have came with my in my computer that I bought, which buying it pre-built was a bunch cheaper than if I built it myself. Which it didn't used to be that way. If you built it yourself, it would be cheaper, but now it tends to be cheaper every time if you get a pre-built one. And then if you can't find one exactly like you want, it often is still cheaper than to buy a pre-built one, and then you can like swap out a video card or add something to it if it doesn't include anything. Paramount Plus. Yeah, so a lot of electronic things, but like anything you can think of, they probably have it in here. Yamaha key, digital piano, sunglasses. So yeah, it's slickdeals.net. And if they go out of business, do not, what is that? Direct tools. They look like Uno cards. Slickdeals.net, and yeah, if they go out of business, do not sue me for recommending them. And don't buy stuff, unless it's a good deal. So unless they give you the best deal. So you just type whatever you want, like for refrigerator. Like the guy that doesn't want to buy a house, he can look for refrigerator prices on here. Alrighty, back to questions. We finished that one. Yeah, ready to crush baby step 2. Excellent. And now you got that 777 that you can apply to other debt. Excellent day. And we did that one to avoid marketplace. That's why I showed you that. So yeah, market. I think you're talking about Amazon Marketplace or Facebook Marketplace. Just avoid both of them. Car's all paid up. You can also remove your debit card number from Amazon. That way you have to put it in every single time. And maybe in the time it takes you to type that in, you'll say, oh, it's not worth it to do that. And so if it's not worth it to type in the number, then it's not worth buying at all. Car's all paid off. Now I'll just say for the 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Excellent. That would be baby step 3. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. How to price a used car. Gonna sell my car to cash flow some pipe fence. All right. It sounds like man stuff there. KBB, Catholic Blue Book, and Carvana are showing 3 to 4K retail. I thought any car that runs perfectly with no issues was worth at least 5K in this market in North Texas. Well, you can think whatever you want, but you need to go by the actual statistics. Bought new 10 years ago for $40,000. They do depreciate, don't they? Depreciation will take a bite, won't you? 190K miles, single owner, no car accident. Trying to sell the car in the Ramsey baby steps community group, maybe. 0 mechanical problem, new tires, all options plus full-size spare. I see similar vehicles on the market for 8 to 10, but most have half the mileage. Closest one is 12K. What price should I ask? You can ask whatever you want to. I mean, if it's 12K, I mean, but you have twice as much mileage. Maybe you go down to 8. I mean, you can start high and just go down lower if it doesn't sell. That's what I would do. I mean, it depends on how long the pipe fence can wait for you to try to get the most money for your vehicle. What up, Chris? Thank you for the thumbs up, Chris. Or perhaps it's somebody that has not commented. Appreciate it all muchly. It all helps. Okay, so this is the last one. What time is it? Done about an hour. I might go an hour and a half, so we might do some Reddit questions as well. Okay, so you know you're on the Ramsey plan when your husband pauses and rewinds the movie and says, let's look at their budget. The movie is Identity Thief. All right, and so let's see what we have here. We have, I mean, sometimes, you know, they might not, I mean, generally you have people that, like, go and make sure that, like, even something like this that is on the screen for half a second or something would still be all correct. Generally, you do have that much detail planned out, but we'll see. We'll see. Rent is $1,650. Electricity payment $136.60. So if it's a mortgage, if it's a house, depends on how big the house. That, you know, and depends on what month. Obviously, if you need more air conditioning. Water $62.12. That seems a little high. Gas $52.74. That's probably natural gas, not. I guess let's see. Groceries $462. We don't know how many is involved. How many family members involved here. Cell phone payment $182. That's what they get you. Gas card $341. They're doing some driving. Landline $35. Identity Thief is a rather old movie, I believe. Landline $35. Internets are $29. That's a good deal. I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't see any cable bill on top of that. Dry cleaning, $35.22. Car insurance, $85. That could be 2 cars even. Health insurance, $125. That's not bad. Restaurants, $82.53. Car service, $38.99. Entertainment, $62. Kids activities. Okay, so it is at least one. It says more than 1 kid, so 4 kids for $462. So if that's a month, that's $115-ish, $117 dollars a week. That's not crazy for 2 parents and 2 kids. Let's see, school related, $35.78. Pets, $42.86. Total is, what is that? That is $3,500 something. It's in dark blue. I can't see it. So what do they have? Payment method. Oh, look, they got it all. It's all nice. Look at that. They got a lot. They're paying. Let's see. Oh, that's the debit card, probably, with the last number ending in 3699. Check, cash, cash. So don't know if that's a debit card or a credit card. It does not seem like it. So that's pretty cool in that case. Let's see. Do I want to do? Yeah, we'll go at least to. At least another 18 minutes. Do an hour and a half show. And this is what we do normally on this. That was from the Ramsey Baby Steps community on Facebook. But normally we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And this is run by fans, not run by Ramsey Solutions. And we sort by new. And, all right, 6 hours ago, Frank Ninja Monkey, baby step 1 flare, financially lost. Okay, you're starting on the right step then. I'm 36 and filed for Chapter 7, that's bankruptcy. Earlier this year, this was mostly due to my epilepsy and mounting hospital and ambulance bills. Now, just a few months later, I had a seizure and burned my severely burned my hand, or severely otherwise incapacitated, I don't know. Placed it inside boiling water. Yep. And even health insurance from my full-time job, even with health insurance, I owe $4K out of pocket. I can only work from home, a job that does not require deadlines due to my seizures, and make about $15K a year after taxes. And insurance disability has denied me several times, and that wouldn't even cover my food and shared room rent of $560 a month. I feel so lost. I've been trying to call, email Dave for advice, but I've never gotten through. It can be difficult to get through. Make sure you're calling at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The video on YouTube is delayed 2 hours, so it is not live. So the phones are actually live 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And so, unfortunately, to make progress on the baby steps, you do have to have an income and more than $15K. So there's no like special plan for handicapped people and such. Unfortunately, I would look into whatever help you can get. Maybe from your church, if you're a member of a church, see what kind of help you can get from them, see what kind of help you can get. You said you have the disability denied several times. I wonder why. Find out why they are denying you and see if you can fix that. I mean, it could be because you make $15K a year, which that really sucks that they say you can't make money doing anything else, or you can only make this amount of money in order to get disability, but that kind of thing does happen. So, but and unfortunately, there's no Dave plan for this part of it. So that's all you can do, and do the best you can do with that. Somebody had some other ideas for them, maybe the same ones that I did. Let's see, beginning _ courage _ 69. Baby step 2, should I really pay off my car? Let's see, step 2 says pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball, which means smallest to largest. I'm going to go ahead and say that includes really paying off your car. See, I mean, all the answers are generally right there. Every so often there'll be a question that is not specifically answered by the baby steps, but this one is. 22 and have a car loan with remaining balance of $11K, and this is where people, because they start thinking about the amount of interest, this is where people get in trouble. Let's see, because they start thinking too much. Payment is about $300 a month, and income is about $4,000 gross a month. I have a BAPE, 35K, in a high yield savings account. I see save $1,000 in step 1. I do not see, wrong one. I do not see save $35,000 in a high yield savings account. I do not see that here before paying off your debt. I do not see that at all. I see save $1,000. So this would be, you're doing it wrong. I should get rid of that so I don't keep getting confused. Let's see. I know Dave would say to pay off my car immediately, so why are you asking? But what do you guys really think? Okay. I guess it would feel nice to have no payments to any debts. In my account each month. I don't know what they meant there. But at the same time, just can't feel like I'm losing out on some money over the next 3.5 years until the loan is over. Well, I like to give it the old analogy of, yes, with the 35K in the high yield savings account, which you wouldn't even have to take it all out to pay that off. So I don't know what the deal is. So you would have to just take $11K out. But the problem is people think about that 4.3% and then they forget they have to subtract the 1.9% they're paying on the car loan. So that actually is more like 2.4%. Right? Yeah. 2.4% is what you're making on that. And so still people will say, well, that's still a positive 2.4%. But basically what that is debt leverage, first of all. That is being in debt in order to invest money so you're not paying off what you're in debt for. So that's debt leverage. Dave doesn't advise that. And also what it is, the easiest way to explain it is that you're trying to fill a bucket with your 35K in your yield savings account, earning that 4.3%. You're trying to fill a bucket with that has a hole in it of 11K at 1.9% interest. And so patch the hole first and then fill the bucket, because then all the water / money will stay in there. So yes, really pay off your car. This right here, millions of documented success stories, my friend. Whatever you're trying to do here, no documented success stories. At least none that I've seen. Like there's no, like the documentation that other money people can provide doesn't even come close to touching Dave's track record. So, but of course you can do what you want. If you like doing that, you can do that. But let's see, 59 comments. Some people in this subreddit will, of course, agree with them because they're doing the same thing. Dave's Apple Podcast now 1 episode for 2 hours and not 3 individual shows. What happened? I guess they decided to put it all together, and they never were 3 individual shows. They were always just like 40 minutes out of 3 40-minute segments of the 3-hour radio show. So there were 40-minute segments and being an episode. And so 2 weeks behind, but notice they don't show up as 3-hour-long episodes a day. They are now just a 2-hour podcast. I'm sure somebody told them, but they cut out the commercials for the video, and then that is what they chop up for the individual podcasts. Dum 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 dum. Without the commercials, it was over 3. It was never 3 hours, right? Commercials at about 20 minutes per hour, right? Yep. There you go. So somebody explained it to Gordon Gartrail. All right, from Evelyn, NHG. Pay off credit card fraud debt now or later. It's fraud and they're not going to forgive it? Well, let's find out what happens. This is something you don't get every day. Hi all, got a question about whether you would recommend wiping out this debt first. So I don't have any other debts, but a few weeks ago, well, if it's a debt, then you do pay it off before even doing step 3. I experienced credit card fraud. Okay, so first, here's a great idea. First, you should do, if you're following the baby steps, is baby step 0 is you cut up the card and you don't use it anymore and you pay them all off. So why do you have the credit card? I know now that I accessed a phishing website posing as the post office, collecting less than $1 to reattempt a delivery, and provided my credit card information. I don't have the soundbite queued up, but anyway, it goes like this. Boop, boop, boo doo. That's the Price is Right losing sound. Well, long story short, my credit card, which had 0 balance on it, was maxed out by some fraudster abroad. My bank is refusing to cover this loss, claiming it was my fault. It was. Which is not what my local law says. Apparently it was. I don't know that your bank has jurisdiction over it. I believe it would be Visa or MasterCard that would have jurisdiction over that. It's not a debit card. The credit card is provided by, you may have gotten it through the bank, but it is provided by the card name on it, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatever. Bank is refusing to cover this loss, claiming it's my fault, right? Submitted an appeal, and I might also hire a lawyer to fight this. Go ahead. But yeah, it's your fault. You did it. But until this is settled, I'm responsible for the loss. You're going to be responsible for it anyway, because it is your fault. You provided the number. Now, if they got the number some other way with you not providing it, then they would probably cover that. But since you willingly gave the number to just any website, I mean, it may have looked like the post office website, but you got to be more diligent than that. They don't charge you to reattempt to deliver something as well. And so how you get around that is you go to your post office and you offer to pay that in person. And then they'll tell you, well, we don't do that. We don't charge for re-attempting delivery. We just tell you to come get it usually. Okay. My question is, should I pay for this out of pocket? Yes, with cash. or should I pay minimum on it so that when this is settled and hopefully in my favor? I don't think it's going to be that I don't carry a large excess credit balance from the bank's refund that I have no use for. Besides, Lord knows how much the legal fees will be. Yeah, and so this is why you want to. Why were you using it? If it had no balance on it, why were you using it? Perhaps one of the people that use it for points or something and say they're going to pay it off every month. Let's see. Besides, Lord knows how much legal fees are. Exactly. Perhaps it's a good idea to have extra cash on hand to pay any upfront legal costs. I would just take the stupid tax of doing that rather than make it, because you likely won't win, and then you'll have to pay lawyer costs on top of that, which make it more. If I paid the minimum interest rate, it's 18 to 19%, but I don't think it would take more than a few months to settle. So yeah, it's just very frustrating to carry a credit card balance with interest when I've tried so hard to stay out of debt. Well, why did you have the credit card? Why did you use the credit card for something? Illogical, Captain. Speaking of illogical, I'm on step 3. No, you're not. You have fraud debt. So that means I'll be using whatever I have in step 3 to cover this, right? You're on step 2. Yep. His recommendation by default is to pay off any debt first, but my debt in this case is kind of different. Everybody thinks they're a special exception. And this, I'm sorry the fraud happened to you, but this doesn't change anything. So 39 comments on that. But yeah, I wouldn't make it worse by having to pay legal fees just for them to say the same thing. You did it, you gave them the number, and they know that, and so that's why it was denied. Let's see, Splinter Guitar 69. Maybe step 3, Flare. Would selling my car make sense in this situation? Let's see, you don't always have to sell the car. Mostly probably, but not always. Baby step 3, Flare. Wife and I just paid off our non-mortgage debt. Now we're working towards baby step 3. Excellent. Well, you're working on baby step 3 because you're actually on there if you're... So you're working towards the end of baby step 3. We both work from home and both have cars. My car gets maybe 10 miles a week on it. Another one of these situations, like we had in the Facebook question. On it, going to the grocery store, and that's about it. On top of that, I got a ticket recently, and it made our insurance go up about 30% plus. My wife sometimes leans to keep it. Oh, I see. My wife sometimes leans to keeping it in case of emergency. We have a baby, but I can't picture a scenario that would require a second car, especially considering a hospital is like 2 blocks away. Selling the car would basically take care of baby step 3 for us. Your opinions? Both work from home and both have cars. Yeah, I would probably, you're in a situation where since you don't have any debt at all, it would be better if you already had step 3 done. But the car basically would take care of step 3, and so that's great. It put you immediately on step 4, and so I would lean towards that. But if you're in step 2, no doubt sell the car, but you don't need it. So, like you said, maybe 10 miles a week on it, going to the grocery store, and her car is just sitting right there doing nothing while you're doing that. So you could just use her car. So yeah, I would probably sell it there. But I mean, being on step 3, that's a little further down the baby steps, and so then you may not have to sell the car again. Since you're not using it, I would sell it. But sometimes you have to compromise. And you say she sometimes lean to it. So, I mean, you can keep trying to talk her into letting you sell it. And so, I mean, if you have to keep it, that's not the end of the world. You can still take care of baby step 3 on your own without selling the car. You could still do that. And so, you know, whatever you have to do in your marriage to keep that fine, you have to make compromises. From Bender Gone Bend. Bender Gun Bend. I got it. Like Gunna. Baby step 1 flare. If I have no car and need one, where would it fit in the baby steps? That's baby step 0. Transportation is baby step 0. So you would do that even before getting the $1,000 step 1. So you are on baby step 0, my friend. We're going to baby step 1, make less than $20K a year, so $500 emergency fund, and have less than 6K total in debt, mostly medical education. So would I save for a cheap ass hoopty? 1 to 2K is, yeah. Not after you would do that right now. If you have to get around, how are you getting to work now? After I complete baby step 1 in a separate savings and emergency, then continue to baby step 2. I currently have no vehicle and have to bus, bike, get a ride to work. Now, if you can do that, I mean, then that could be your if that's going to be your transportation, then you could stick with that and get the $1,000 emergency fund first, and then save up for it. You could, since that's no problem. Obviously, those are not as convenient as having your own car, and so that choice is up to you. But you know, obviously, it wouldn't be to buy a brand new car, but you're saying just like a 1 or 2K car. So that's up to you. It would put you further down the baby steps if you continue to bus, bike, and get a ride to work until you had the baby step 1, and then you don't spend the baby step 1 on the car, and you save up extra for that. And so it would just be for a hashtag season, which doesn't necessarily mean 3 months. It means a short time. Green_horn 18. Baby step 4. Does selling my truck make sense? A lot of card things today. All right, this will be the last one. We're at an hour and a half. I'm 20 and just getting out on my own. I have a paid for 2015 F-150 worth around 18K. I enjoy this truck and I drive it to my trades job about 1-2 hours each day. The job is about 1 to 2 hours each day, or you drive it. I do not need a truck for work and have been considering selling it and buying something more fuel efficient instead. Is the commute 1 to 2 hours a day? Not clearly explained there. Mainly looking at Honda or Toyota car, perhaps Corolla. I know I can buy one with about 100K miles for $10,000 less. However, I live in Minnesota and would always have to buy snow tires for it. It's always something. I would save roughly 50% on gas from $400 to around $200 per month. For context, I have an emergency fund, no debt, investing 15% in the Roth IRA, and I'm moving out of parents' place very soon, excuse me. I gross about $65K a year, and it's going up from there. Excellent. At some point in the future, I may buy a truck just to have one laying around. You don't need a vehicle just to lay around. Right now, I don't want to own 2 vehicles simultaneously. Any input is appreciated. Yeah, if you don't need a truck for anything, sell it. And then you can buy one, $10,000 or less, like you said. And then you'd have $8,000 to apply for moving expenses. So, assuming you will be renting somewhere and not buying a house. So you'd have $8,000 to help with moving expenses, even after you get a car from the proceeds. And then you would also have the $200 extra a month that you're spending on gas now. And so yes, I would do that. Alrighty, reminder that, what's my reminder? Ramsey show, after show shows on Thursday, this coming Thursday, August 31st. And a week from tomorrow, which would be Monday, September 4th, which is Labor Day. Also a Ramsey show, after show at that time as well. 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Central is the time for that approximately. The Ramsey show sometimes goes a few minutes past the hour. And so, but whenever that video on YouTube ends, then that's when I start up. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That link is also in the description of the video. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Make smart financial decisions every day.